It's a comfortable day in the Roost. I'm glad to have you over. So to start off, the channel has now surpassed 100 subscribers, so thank you guys all for that. We are now at 102 subscribers. So thanks for the support, guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys liking, subscribing. I love it when you guys comment. I do really enjoy interacting with you guys, so feel free to comment on this video or any of the other videos that I have posted for that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to start watching my playback of this, and I've promised you guys to show you guys how I kind of go about this drawing. So, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is looking at a rough idea of what I want, trying to figure out how to use a circle tool. I wanted Perchta to have her spinning wheel. She is the goddess of weaving and all, so I wanted her to be making some thread for her weaving. So I'll be messing around with that and starting to sketch that out. However, I don't really end up going with it. I don't really enjoy it. But that's alright. Sometimes we draw things and, it doesn't turn out how we exactly wanted it to. But I think it can leave room for some very creative drawing processes, at least in my opinion. So this is just kind of a rough sketch of something that I trashed. We all have those kind of work in progresses, but I really like how I went about the drawing afterwards. Very symmetrical and kind of flowy, almost. She's got a real weight to her. So, as I said, this is Perchta the Christmas Witch, and she is the goddess of weaving. If you're especially bad, she will feed you pebbles until you die. Wow, isn't that gnarly? Right up my alley. I love metal shit, so that's kind of cool. And if you are just a bad kid, she'll destroy all of your clothes in your house, because she's the goddess of weaving. No clothes for you. I've made these. No. And then if you're a good person, good kid, she'll leave you a silver coin in your shoe. And I think that's great. So you just leave your shoes at the foot of your bed, and then she leaves you a coin. I think that's awesome if you're, a good kid. In any case, so I'll go over some of the interesting things that have happened this week. Nothing really too much. I am working at the clinic, and I've been doing a lot of back and forth with occupational health. Gotta love that stuff. So today I was just doing some blood draws. Gotta love it. Always fun. Stabbing people. Yay. But really I'm actually afraid of needles. So, yeah. I get to stick people for a living, but I'm afraid of needles. It's great. It's perfect. It's not really that they're even, gory or anything. It's the surface tension of the needle touching the skin at first, and then the way the skin, once it breaks, kind of up a bit, kind of. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, ugh. So anyways, after that horrible image stuck into my mind now, it looks like now I'm figuring out the symmetry tool in Photoshop. I don't really use all these funky tools in Photoshop often, so once I figure them out, I think it's really cool and I feel like a mad scientist. And this is just me starting on the rough draft for Perchta. I'll probably speed this up here. Skip forward here. And here we go. We're starting on some line work. I did ditch some of the symmetry tool for this. So when I start out, I'm going to be drawing with the symmetry tool for her face because I wanted it to look very uncanny, almost as if she was from the Feywild, something like that. But I don't believe in using the symmetry tool for all of a drawing. Maybe the difficult parts. I like to cheat. But I did ditch it and start doing my own line work. Not with the symmetry tool, but just kind of letting things happen as is. A little bit of... It's going to look symmetrical, me following these guidelines that I made for her, but it's also going to look, a little bit different on each side, and I think that is nice. I don't know what it is about Symmetry Tool using for like finalized line work. It just seems to look a little bit too perfect for me. So here is drawing the tassels, which were actually my favorite part of the drawing, on her shawl. They were just very kind of entertaining to do the kind of line work deal. So I really enjoyed that. For some of them I did 3, some of them I did 2, but at the end of the day, I thought it was kind of fun. It was almost hypnotic making them. You're gonna see a cut somewhere. I think actually I passed it already. But I took a break for about a week because I was just not feeling it. It's very cold in the barracks that I'm in, so sometimes my hands get numb and I don't feel like drawing. But once it warmed up a bit, I was able to tackle the rest of this drawing. That's me testing to make sure I still have the right pen. Yeah. Turning on the Symmetry Tool again, going around the hands, because hands are difficult. I'd rather use the Symmetry Tool to get those figured out than, use the Symmetry Tool for the entire artwork. But hands are hard. I still struggle with them. If anyone's got a tip for them, I would love to hear it in the comment section. Undoing the Symmetry Tool, cleaning up the line work where the shawl kind of is placed. I love these weird lines and the wrinkles of clothes. I'm not entirely accurate when it comes to fabric, but I do enjoy drawing those weird wrinkle lines. And here I'm just trying to do some hatching and all that lovely stuff. Continuing on from anything else that I've done this week, I did see 2 white-tailed deer and 3 black-tailed deer that were bucks. And then I saw an entire herd of does that were white-tails. I don't even know how many I saw. There were a lot. Some of them were very young. I could tell they were quite smaller than the rest. And I could not tell if they were does or bucks that were just, juveniles, but it would be nice to see next year. They let me sit with them, and I always am entertained by that. Sometimes I like to feed them unsalted peanuts or corn. We're not supposed to mess with the wildlife on base, but I make some exceptions for them and the crows. I always find it entertaining to do these kind of hatch marks in the drawing. I think it's relaxing. I think the reason I do such funky drawings is, it's in some part nature, because as beautiful as it can be, it's also sometimes very gnarly at points, and I want to capture, that something spooky looking or gnarly or rugged can still be beautiful. So I like to take the unconventional approach when it comes to, these kinds of things. I don't know. Same reason I like to collect bones. Maybe I'll show you guys one time. So this is just filling in the layer behind it. I use the expand tool when I select the line work originally. I expand it by 2 pixels, and then I invert the selection and then put color underneath. And then when I start to color all this fancy stuff, you'll see I select outside the bounds of this color, but I still fill it in completely without any issues. It's because I use a clipping mask to do separate portions of the drawing. And I do that with pretty much all of my artwork. But this time I take a different approach. Usually I select the portions I want to color, but this time I went through, selected the color, and almost painted or inked in color blotches. and I had a really fun time with it. So I'll probably speed up this bit here. I'm just blocking in different colors and such, but you'll see me kind of go through and draw in ink in these different color variations. It was pretty fun, very relaxing, you know. At some point I go through and on her horns I use an airbrush because I don't want such a hard gradient. And I was going with a kind of reference image of a goat. I liked the pattern on its pelt, so I kind of used that for her skin fur kind of dealy going on. I thought it would be nice. And I think she turned out very pretty. But yeah. Now that you guys get the idea I'm going through, you'll probably see me finish up some rendering at the very end, but I'll just let this play with some music. I think the last thing I'll say about my week is I've gotten back into Bloodborne. My buddy Tim has completely finished the game already, but I'm enjoying a slow ride with it. I like to max out my cursed blood gems. I'm trying to go for blood tinge, either threaded cane, yes, I'm that kind of person, or a blood tinge Simon's Bowblade. Like I said last video, I thought it'd be fun to use it. But yeah, that's all I got. I hope you enjoy the video. Grab some tea on the way out. It is cold outside, and you need all the warmth you can get. Goodbye, guys.